With reaction to talk specifically about what happened in the Ma'Khia Bryant incident in Columbus, Ohio. Republican Senator from Louisiana, John Kennedy. So we aired, there's a whole ton of these viral videos that are out there, Senator, of cops saying, oh, guys, please stop stabbing each other. Hang on. LeBron, what should I do in this case? What's the proper way to handle it? If it wasn't for the heroism of that officer, the girl that was dressed in pink, the young woman that was pinned to the car, and the girl loaded up with that knife, about to plunge it, then thrust it into her body, would have been stabbed and likely would have been killed. And then you saw what LeBron James did to the cop. Thoughts?
Cops have about 60 million encounters with Americans every year. When someone is hurt, before we assume, there's this thing called asking. There's this thing called an investigation. The wokeristas don't want to just jump to conclusions. They want to cannonball into them. They need to get the facts. Let me state a few propositions that I think reflect common sense and with respect to which most Americans, other than the wokeristas, agree. Number one, most cops, many of whom happen to be black, do not get up every day and go to work hoping for the opportunity to hurt a person of color. Number two, cops are necessary. If you support defunding the police, you have tested positive for stupid. Number three, it is immeasurably foolish to resist arrest. It is going to end badly, even if no one is hurt. You can't win. The government has the bomb. It's very dangerous. Don't resist arrest. And number four, and this is just me personally, if you are a cop and you see someone about to stab me, I would personally appreciate it if you would stop them. Shoot them if you have to. I don't care who they are. I don't consider that police misconduct. I consider that saving my life.
You have coined the term, which I find interesting, wokeristas. Now, I gave statistics in my opening monologue tonight talking about police and talking about, the number of shootings. There were 24 people shot in Chicago this weekend. In New York City, 50 people shot in 46 separate incidents. By the way, 3 died in Chicago. And a surge of 250%, 7-day period of time, 50 people shot in New York City. Senator, can you name any of the people shot this weekend? Have you heard anybody report on the names of anybody shot in New York City or Chicago this weekend? Because I haven't. I've looked them up, but I don't think anyone else will likely never know any of their names, will we? Why?
No. And it breaks my heart, but New York, I think, has just edged out Chicago as the world's largest outdoor shooting range. It's terrible, Sean. It's horrible. But our post-journalism world, many members of the media have a narrative, and they only want to cherry pick and pick instances which show cops at their worst. I've said it before. If you hate cops just because they're cops, then feel free to call a criminal, call a meth head the next time you get in trouble. I just do not accept, nor do I think most Americans accept, that most cops are bad people, are racist. They don't get up every day going to work hoping they can hurt somebody. Most of them get up every day and go to work and hope they can themselves come back home alive.
I have 2 questions for LeBron James. First question is simple, and that it's, LeBron, if it was your daughter that was pinned against the car with the girl loaded with the knife about to be thrust into your daughter, What would you want the cops to do there? And the second question I have is related to the last question I asked you, which is, LeBron, do you know the names of everybody that was shot this weekend? And why is there a priority only on the much smaller subset of killings and shootings that take place in society, and that being the full focus whenever the police are involved? And by the way, many big cities now have majority-minority police forces.
Well, Sean, I think everybody agrees that police misconduct should be punished. And
I agree with that.
Police misconduct exists. But look at the numbers. Let me say it again. Every year, cops have encounters with 60 million Americans. 10 million of them are arrested. In 2 million cases, cops either have to use force or threaten to use force. Now, if our friends in the media will cover every one of those cases and be fair about it, but they are cherry picking. I don't know what the investigations in North Carolina and Ohio will show, but before we cannonball into conclusions and assume it's racism, we ought to have an investigation and understand it's not representative of every case.
Every life matters. That would be every life that was lost this weekend. Every life. People deserve safety and security, and there shouldn't be dozens and dozens and dozens of people shot every weekend, Senator. We do know how to fix it. Rudy Giuliani did it. You may not like his politics, but he showed us the way. Thank you for being with us.